For most people around the world, Greenland is simply a vast frozen island covered in ice and snow. But in recent years, this remote Arctic territory has quietly become one of the most strategically important places on Earth. Global powers are watching it closely, politicians are debating its future, and the United States has shown an unusual level of interest in controlling it. The reason is simple. Greenland sits at the crossroads of the Arctic, a region that is rapidly transforming due to climate change, emerging shipping routes, and competition between global superpowers. What may look like an empty, frozen land on the map could actually shape the future balance of power in the world. This story begins with a journey across Greenland itself, a place where geopolitics meets one of the harshest environments on Earth. After more than 12 hours of travel, the journey reaches Nuuk, the capital city of Greenland. With a population of roughly 20,000 people, Nuuk is small compared to most world capitals, but it serves as the political and cultural center of this massive island. Greenland is technically part of the Kingdom of Denmark, but it governs most of its internal affairs. Despite its enormous size, more than 3 times larger than Texas, the island has a population of only around 56,000 people. Most of them live along the coast, where fishing and hunting remain central parts of daily life. Yet despite its isolation, Greenland has long held strategic importance for the United States. During the Second World War and throughout the Cold War, the U.S. military built a network of bases across Greenland. At one point, as many as 17 installations operated on the island, with thousands of American soldiers stationed here. These bases served as early warning systems, radar stations, and airfields that helped monitor potential threats coming across the Arctic from the Soviet Union. The Arctic provided the shortest flight path for missiles between North America and Russia. In a world dominated by nuclear tensions, Greenland became a critical piece of the defense puzzle. Today, however, the American presence is much smaller. Only a single major installation remains active, with fewer than 200 soldiers stationed there. But the past relationship between the U.S. military and Greenland has not always been smooth. One of the most controversial moments occurred during the Cold War. For years, the United States secretly stored nuclear weapons on Greenlandic soil, despite Denmark's strict policy banning nuclear weapons anywhere within its territory. The public only discovered this hidden program in 1968 after a dramatic accident. A US B-52 bomber carrying 4 nuclear bombs crashed near an American base in northern Greenland. The explosion scattered radioactive material across the surrounding ice, triggering a major cleanup operation and sparking political outrage once the truth became public. The incident left lasting questions about trust between Greenlanders and the United States. Yet today, interest in Greenland is rising again. Some American leaders have argued that controlling Greenland would strengthen U.S. national security in the Arctic. With Russia increasing its military activity in the region and China investing in Arctic infrastructure, the island has become a focal point in a new era of global competition. But military strategy is only part of the story. Greenland may also sit on enormous reserves of valuable natural resources, including rare earth elements and other critical minerals used in modern technologies. These materials are essential for everything from electric vehicles to advanced electronics and military systems. Despite the potential wealth beneath its frozen ground, extracting those resources is extremely difficult. Greenland's rugged terrain, freezing temperatures, and lack of infrastructure make large-scale mining projects expensive and complicated. To understand what expanding a military presence here might actually look like, the journey continues far beyond the capital, into one of the most remote regions of eastern Greenland. The first step is flying across the rocky coastline to a tiny settlement called Kulusuk. Isolated and surrounded by frozen landscapes, this village is home to only about 200 residents. Life here revolves around fishing, hunting, and surviving in one of the planet's harshest climates. From this point onward, reaching the destination becomes far more challenging. The old American base lies more than 400 miles away. Roads do not exist in this part of Greenland. The only options are boats, small aircraft, and one of the oldest forms of Arctic transportation, the dog sled. As the journey continues across the frozen terrain, sled dogs pull their passengers over vast stretches of ice. The Arctic wind cuts across the landscape, and temperatures plunge well below freezing. Even under clear skies, the environment remains unforgiving. These conditions reveal a simple reality. Operating military bases in Greenland would not be easy. The island's climate presents enormous logistical challenges. Building infrastructure requires transporting materials across immense distances, often through dangerous weather and shifting sea ice. Every piece of equipment, every drop of fuel, and every supply shipment must survive the journey into one of the most isolated environments on Earth. Eventually, the sled journey reaches the edge of the ice, where a small fishing boat waits to carry travelers across partially frozen waters. The vessel slowly pushes through sheets of ice, navigating a maze of frozen obstacles that stretch across the ocean surface. After several hours of travel, the expedition arrives near the remains of an abandoned American base known as Bluie East Two. Constructed during the Second World War, this base once played a crucial role as a refueling and staging point for aircraft traveling between North America and Europe. It also served as a strategic defense location designed to prevent Nazi Germany from occupying Greenland during the war. But after the conflict ended, the base was abandoned. Today, rusting equipment and forgotten structures remain scattered across the frozen landscape. Old cranes, barrels, and storage tanks stand as silent reminders of a time when this remote corner of Greenland was part of a global war effort. Locals sometimes refer to the rusted barrels left behind by American forces as American flowers. The nickname may sound humorous, but the environmental impact was serious. Many of these abandoned materials eventually caused chemical leaks and pollution that required costly cleanup efforts. Standing among the ruins of Bluie East Two raises an important question. If the United States already has permission to operate military installations in Greenland, and if it could theoretically rebuild bases like this one whenever necessary, why would it need to own the island at all? The answer may lie in a combination of factors: strategic control, natural resources, and the rapidly changing Arctic landscape. As climate change melts sea ice across the region, new shipping routes are opening between Asia, Europe, and North America. These routes could dramatically reshape global trade. Countries that control territory along these passages may gain enormous economic and strategic advantages. Greenland sits directly along several of these emerging pathways. At the same time, the island's potential mineral wealth could become increasingly valuable as the world transitions toward advanced technologies and renewable energy systems. All of this means that Greenland, once seen as a distant and forgotten place, is now at the center of growing international interest. But for the people who actually live here, the future of Greenland is not simply a geopolitical chess match. It is a question of identity, independence, and control over their own land. As global powers look northward toward the Arctic, Greenland may soon find itself playing a far bigger role in world affairs than anyone imagined. And in a place where ice, history, and geopolitics collide, the story of Greenland is only just beginning.